Welcome back to your channel, All World Coins. Imagine holding a tiny silver-colored coin in your fingers that looks ordinary, but in reality could be more valuable than a luxury car, a house, or even a business. The 1965 Washington quarter is one of the most misunderstood coins in American history. Millions of people have used it to buy soda or candy, never knowing that a rare version of this same coin has shocked collectors and auction houses with prices that feel unbelievable. To most people, it is just a 25-cent coin, but to collectors, some 1965 quarters are silent treasure waiting to be discovered. The year 1965 changed American money forever. Before this year, U.S. quarters were made of 90% silver, but rising silver prices forced the U.S. Mint to change the metal. From 1965 onward, quarters were supposed to be made from a copper core with a nickel outer layer. That is why most 1965 quarters show a copper-colored line on the edge. But history was not so clean. During the change, some silver blanks from 1964 were accidentally mixed into the new production, and when those silver blanks were stamped with the 1965 date, they created one of the greatest mint mistakes in American coin history. This mistake is what collectors call a 1965 silver quarter, and it is the reason why this coin can be worth thousands, tens of thousands, or even more. These coins look just like a normal 1965 quarter from the front, but when you check the edge, you will not see any copper color. Instead, the edge is solid silver. That tiny detail is what separates a normal coin from a rare historical treasure. Because the mint never intended to make silver quarters in 1965, every real silver example is an accident that escaped into the public. What makes this story even more powerful is how few of these coins exist. Only a small number of silver blanks made it into the 1965 production. Most were probably caught and melted, but a few slipped through and entered circulation. These coins were used in shops, saved in drawers, and forgotten in jars for decades. Today, collectors search for them like modern-day treasure hunters. Every time someone checks an old quarter and sees a solid silver edge, the heart starts racing because it could be a coin worth a fortune. Now let us talk about the copper side 1965 quarter. Most of these coins are not rare, but some have powerful mint errors that can push their value very high. There are 1965 quarters that were struck off-center, struck on the wrong metal, or stamped twice, creating ghost-like images on Washington's face. These errors were not supposed to exist, and collectors love them because they show the human side of machine-made money. A strong error on a 1965 quarter can turn an ordinary coin into a valuable collectible. The rarest and most expensive of all is the 1965 quarter struck on a silver planchet and preserved in excellent condition. When such a coin is professionally graded and certified, its value jumps even higher. Collectors pay more for coins that look clean, sharp, and untouched. Some of these rare 1965 silver quarters have sold for tens of thousands of dollars because they represent a once-in-a-lifetime mistake frozen in metal. To a serious collector, owning one is like owning a piece of American mint history. Many stories exist of people finding these coins in pocket change, inherited collections, or old jars. Imagine spending only 25 cents and unknowingly holding a coin worth more than a year's salary. This is why the 1965 Washington quarter has such a legendary reputation. It proves that treasure does not always come in gold bars or diamonds. Sometimes it hides in the smallest, most common places, waiting for someone who knows what to look for. The reason some people talk about these coins in terms of millions is not because every 1965 quarter is worth that much, but because the rarest examples can reach extreme prices when two rich collectors compete. When a coin is unique, perfectly preserved, and proven to be real, it becomes more than money. It becomes a trophy. In the world of elite collectors, owning the best example means prestige, and that is where the big numbers appear. However, this also means that many fake or altered coins exist. Some people try to remove the copper edge or coat a normal quarter with silver. That is why real 1965 silver quarters must be tested for weight, metal content, and sound. A genuine silver quarter weighs more and makes a clear ringing sound when dropped. Professional grading services can confirm if a coin is real, and this is important before anyone believes they have found a fortune. The magic of the 1965 Washington quarter is not just in its value, but in its story. It represents a turning point in American money when silver was removed and modern coinage began. The few silver quarters that survived that change are like time travelers from an older era. They remind us that even in a system designed for perfection, small mistakes can create something incredibly valuable. So the next time you see a 1965 Washington quarter, look at it closely. Check its edge, feel its weight, and remember the story hidden inside it. What seems like a simple coin could be a silent miracle, a mistake that became a treasure. In the world of rare coins, fortunes are not always found in vaults. Sometimes they hide in your pocket, waiting for the right eyes to discover them.
The next up, top 2. The 1966 Washington quarter looks small and ordinary, but in the hidden world of rare coins, it holds one of the greatest money secrets ever created. Millions of people have spent this coin without knowing what it truly was, while a lucky few discovered that this simple quarter can be worth more than luxury houses, sports cars, and even private jets. This coin was born during a time when America was changing its money system forever, and that change created some of the most valuable mistakes in U.S. history. In 1966, the United States stopped making regular silver quarters and moved to cheaper metal because silver prices were rising fast. That year's quarters were supposed to be made from copper and nickel layered together, but during this transition, a tiny number of quarters were accidentally struck on old silver blanks or mixed metal planchets. These error coins became legends because they were never meant to exist. When something was never meant to exist, collectors will pay anything to own it. The most powerful 1966 quarter is the one that feels heavier than normal and does not show a copper edge. A normal quarter has a visible brown copper stripe on its side, but the rare silver or wrong metal versions look smooth and bright. These coins were struck using leftover silver blanks from 1964-1965 and escaped into circulation before anyone noticed. That single mistake turned pocket change into a life-changing treasure. Collectors and professional graders test these coins using weight, magnetism, and sound. A rare 1966 silver quarter weighs more than a regular one and makes a higher ringing tone when gently dropped. These are not tricks, they're the same methods used by museums and auction houses. When one of these real error coins is certified, its value explodes instantly. Another version that brings shocking prices is the 1966 quarter struck on a copper-only or wrong metal planchet. These are coins that were accidentally struck on metal meant for another denomination. They look different in color, weight, and texture. Some appear redder, some lighter, and some feel completely wrong in the hand. These coins are so rare that only a few are known to exist. When one of these error quarters appears at a major auction, rich collectors compete fiercely because they know no more will ever be made. Coins from the 1960s transition period are among the most hunted pieces in American numismatic history. A perfect condition 1966 error quarter can sell for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or more, depending on how extreme and unique the mistake is. There is also another hidden gem, the 1966 quarter with double details or off-center strikes. These coins were created when the metal was misaligned or the dies struck more than once. Some show two dates, double lettering, or Washington's face appearing slightly twice. These coins look like printing mistakes, but in the coin world, mistakes are worth fortunes. Condition makes everything even more powerful. A 1966 quarter that has never been circulated with sharp edges and shiny surfaces multiplies in value many times. A rare error in poor condition is valuable, but a rare error in perfect condition becomes legendary. This is why some coins sell for more than luxury homes, because beauty and rarity together create explosive demand. Many people believe all 1966 quarters are common, and that is true for most of them, but the few that were struck on the wrong metal or made with striking errors are completely different creatures. These are not normal coins. They're accidents of history that slipped through the strongest quality control system in the world. Stories exist of people finding these coins in old drawers, piggy banks, and inherited collections. Someone once spent one at a gas station without realizing it was worth more than a lifetime of salary. That is how silent and dangerous rare coins are. They look ordinary, but they can change your future forever. If you believe you have a special 1966 quarter, the smartest move is never to clean it and never to sell it quickly. Cleaning destroys value, and rushing invites scammers. Professional grading services are the only safe way to unlock its true worth. Once certified, your coin becomes a global asset that collectors worldwide will fight to own. The 1966 Washington quarter is proof that fortune sometimes hides in plain sight. A coin worth 25 cents can become a key to unimaginable wealth when history, metal, and mistakes collide. So, if you ever hold a 1966 quarter that feels different, looks different, or sounds different, treat it like treasure, because in the world of
The next up, top 3. Imagine holding a small, ordinary-looking Washington quarter in your hand, a coin dated 1967, but hidden inside it is a story so powerful that collectors around the world would fight to own it. Millions of these quarters were made, yet a tiny number were born different, with rare metal, strange errors, and secret features that turn a 25-cent coin into a treasure worth more than houses, cars, and even businesses. This is not fantasy. This is the true world of rare American coins. The year 1967 is special in U.S. coin history because America was changing how its money was made. Before 1965, quarters were made with real silver, but after that, the government switched to a copper-nickel metal. That means the 1967 quarter was never supposed to contain silver, yet some rare pieces exist that were accidentally struck on silver planchets or special test metals. These rare mistakes created coins that collectors today search for like buried treasure. Most 1967 quarters look normal, with a silver gray face and a copper edge showing on the side, but a rare few do not. Some have a solid silver edge with no copper visible, which tells experts that something went very wrong at the mint. When a 1967 quarter has the wrong metal, it becomes a mint error, and in the coin world, mint errors are like winning lottery tickets. The most valuable 1967 Washington quarters are those struck on silver or special alloy blanks. These coins were never meant to exist, but somehow they escaped into circulation. When one of these rare pieces is found and certified, collectors are willing to pay enormous money because it is a piece of American minting history that should not be possible. Condition is everything in the coin world. A 1967 quarter that looks brand new, with sharp details in Washington's hair, bold lettering, and a clean eagle on the back, can be worth many times more than a worn coin. When a rare era coin also happens to be in perfect or near-perfect condition, its value can explode into the tens of thousands, and in some extreme cases, much higher. Some 1967 quarters also exist with dramatic minting errors, like double strikes, off-center images, missing layers, or weak metal bonding. These strange coins look like they came from another world. To a collector, these are not damaged coins. They are unique artworks created by accident inside the U.S. Mint. A rare error 1967 quarter with the copper-nickel layer missing, revealing a strange silver-colored surface underneath, can sell for thousands of dollars. Coins that show major striking mistakes or wrong metal errors can sell for even more. The market decides the final price, but the more unusual the coin, the more collectors are willing to compete for it. Many people think only gold coins or ancient coins are valuable, but modern American coins like the 1967 quarter prove that even small change can hide huge wealth.
The rarest examples are so difficult to find that some collectors spend their entire lives searching for just one. Stories exist of people finding rare quarters in old jars, inherited collections, or rolls from banks. A coin that once bought candy or soda can suddenly become a life-changing discovery. That is why coin collectors always say, never ignore small change. If you ever believe you have a rare 1967 quarter, never clean it, never polish it, and never sell it quickly. A cleaned coin can lose most of its value. Real rare coins should be checked by professional grading services that can confirm if it is truly special. The idea of a 1967 quarter being worth millions is extremely rare, but certain wrong metal or unique error coins can sell for astonishing amounts when the right buyer appears. In the world of rare coins, one special piece can change a person's financial future. So the next time you look at a 1967 Washington quarter, remember this: you are not just holding a coin, you are holding a piece of American history. And if that coin happens to be one of the rare mistakes that slipped through the mint, it could be a silent fortune waiting to be discovered, proving that even the smallest coin can carry the power to change a life. If you want, I can send you a photo of your 1967 quarter, and I can help you see whether it looks normal or potentially rare. The 1968 Washington quarter with a copper-colored edge is one of the most mysterious and exciting coins ever discovered. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary quarter, but in the collector's universe, this tiny coin can shake fortunes and turn an unknown person into a millionaire overnight. Many people have unknowingly spent this coin, not realizing they were holding a hidden treasure that history forgot to tell them about. The year 1968 was a turning point in American coin history. This was the era when the U.S. Mint had recently removed silver from quarters and replaced it with a copper-nickel sandwich. But during this change, mistakes happened, and those mistakes became legends. A few quarters were struck in unusual ways, some with the wrong metal layers, some with incorrect planchets, and some with rare minting flaws that should never have existed. These are the coins that now live in auctions, museums, and private vaults. When people talk about a copper side on a 1968 quarter, they are really talking about the exposed copper core that appears along the edge. Normal quarters have a silver-colored rim, but rare error coins show a thick copper line, revealing something went wrong when the coin was made. This may look small, but in the world of rare coins, this tiny line can be worth more than a house. Some 1968 quarters were struck on the wrong metal blanks meant for other coins. These mistakes created coins that were heavier, lighter, or softer than normal. When such a coin survives in good condition, collectors go crazy for it. These error quarters are not just rare, they are one of a kind, and that is why they can sell for shocking amounts when the right buyer appears. There are stories of people finding these coins in old jars, piggy banks, or forgotten drawers, only to later learn they were holding something extraordinary. A genuine rare 1968 error quarter can sell for thousands, tens of thousands, and in extremely rare cases, six-figure prices when verified by professional graders. These coins don't become expensive because of age, they become expensive because they are mistakes that should not exist. The better the condition, the stronger the magic. If a 1968 quarter with a copper edge is still sharp, clean, and uncirculated, its value multiplies like fire. No scratches, no wear, no fading, just pure mint beauty. Coins like this are chased by serious collectors who are willing to pay huge money just to own something almost no one else has. What makes these coins truly powerful is their story. They were born in chaos, during a time when the U.S. Mint was rushing to change metal compositions. Machines misfired, blanks got mixed, and rare errors slipped through. Those few survivors are now frozen pieces of American history, proving that even mistakes can become priceless. Many people wrongly believe that all 1968 Washington quarters are common and cheap. That is not true. Most are worth only face value, but the rare error ones live in a completely different universe. They are hunted, certified, protected, and sold in elite auctions where serious money flows. This is why you should never spend a 1968 Washington quarter with a copper edge without checking it. What looks like pocket change could actually be a ticket to a new life. Professional grading companies are the gatekeepers of this treasure world, and once they confirm a real error coin, its value can explode. People love stories about lucky finds because they are real. History has proven again and again that ordinary people have become rich simply because they looked closer at their coins. The 1968 Washington quarter is one of those silent opportunities waiting to be discovered. Collectors don't buy these coins for metal, they buy them for rarity, for history, and for the thrill of owning something almost no one else on Earth has. That is what creates the enormous prices. Not millions for every coin, but unbelievable value for the true rare ones. So, if you ever find a 1968 Washington quarter with a strong copper edge and beautiful condition, do not rush to sell it cheaply. You may be holding a small, shining miracle from America's past, a tiny piece of metal that carries the power to change a future forever. If you want, I can also give you YouTube title, description, tags, and thumbnail text for this topic.